Hello, Corey. This is Rachel. I am your instructor, and I wanted to share some really good news with you. Number one, you scored a 45. Now, that 45 isn't like a 45 on a test or anything. That means that you are 45% done with the first tier. So that, believe it or not, is really good news. So what I want to do now is I want to take the time to go over some problems that I saw that you did not get right in the, your initial diagnostic test. So bear with me. I am going to change my screen and go through there. Okay, so Corey, let me look at, and forgive me, but I'm going to just take my little face out of there. So here was a problem that you had. A wall is 8 2/5 high and 18 1/3 foot long. If you want to paint 1/2 of the wall blue, how many square feet will this be? So the first thing we're going to do is we have to find the area of the wall. And how we take that 8 2/5 and that 18 1/3, we need to change it from a mixed number to an improper fraction. And we do that by using the formula, which is whole number. Let's take this down here. Whole number times the denominator plus the numerator, and the whole thing is divided by the denominator. So give me the opportunity to show you what I mean. So if you have 8 2/5, okay, this is your denominator, that's your whole number, and that's your numerator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my whole number times the 5. I'm going to multiply that plus 2 over 5. And we're going to do what is in parentheses first, which is the 8 times 5, which is 40. And 40 plus 2, obviously, is 42. So we have 42 over 5. That's this number here. The next thing that I am going to do, I'm just going to erase these guys here. Oh, sorry about that. Erase these guys here. Let me see if I can undo. Give me a few minutes to see, get this undone. There we go. So I am just going to carefully, I don't think I can carefully do this. Hold on. I am going to try just one more time. Nope. Okay. Not the end of the world, because what I'm going to do now is I am going to take this number, 18 1/3, and again, whole number times denominator plus the numerator over the denominator. So my whole number here is 18. The 1 is my numerator and the 3 is my denominator. So I'm going to have 18 times 3 plus 1 over 3. So 18 times 3, that gives me 54. 54 plus 1 is 55. And here's the 3. And again, this is like saying 54 plus 1. That's where I get the 55. Now, at this point, you can cross cancel. Now, Corey, if you do not understand cross canceling, contact me. We can arrange for tutoring time one-on-one, no problem with that, okay? Or I could make a video and go into a further step, but I can't do these things unless I know where you need help. So please, try to be nice. I'm not scary. Okay, so by cross canceling, what I'm basically doing is I am saying, well, what does 5 and 55 have in common? Well, they're both in the 5 family. So if I divide 5 by 55, I get a 1. If I divide 55 by 5, I get an 11. Now I'm going to cross cancel this way. Well, these guys are both in the 3 family. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And again, this is where this goes. And that one I'm going to see if I can gently erase. Okay. Now 42 divided by 3. That is going 4 divided by 2 is 14. That's going to give me 14. Yes, that will give me 14. So 14 goes here. Now I'm going to multiply going straight across. So I'm going to go 14 times 11. Let me just get an extra page here. Okay. So now I'm going to do 14 over 1 times 11 over 1. Well, 14 times 11, that is going to give me 154. And 1 times 1 gives me 1. So 154 over 1 is like just saying 154. So we have 154 square feet. But if we go back, Corey, oops, let me go. We will see that half the wall had to be blue. So let's see if I can go back. Okay, so we need to have half of this blue. Well, half is like saying, well, divide by 2. So 154 divided by 2. You see how I'm dividing? So my answer would be 77 square feet. By the way, area is always in square footage, square feet, feet squared. That's a minor issue, how you say it. Another problem I saw that you got wrong was this fraction problem. And as you can see, I have on the right-hand side, first, then next. And when I teach like a regular face-to-face class or even online, these are the 3 steps: the first, the then, and the next, because it keeps me organized as to what I have to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the lowest common denominator. Now, again, I'm going to go through that very quickly. If you don't understand, if you need more time, if you need further explanation, text me, email me, call me. I will do it. For any reason I don't pick up the phone, a lot of times I just turn the phone off. Well, not off, I turn the sound down because I'm busy doing other things, but I do get back to people. So these are my denominators. Let me go here. Okay, here are my denominators. I got an 8, a 4, a 2, and a 3. And I want to find the lowest common denominator. This is how I was taught to do it. Doesn't mean it's the only way that there's out there. So in the 8s, okay, the 8s I have, put 8 here. These are called multiples. And these are all the numbers that, shall we say, 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 would be 24, times 4, 32, times 5, 40. Now I have 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So starting to run out of room. Now I have 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now we're talking least common multiples. So right now, if I'm looking at this, I'm going to say to myself, self, it looks like an 8. But here's the problem. I got this 3 guy. 3, 6, 9, 12. Well, yeah, 12 works for 2 and 3 and 4, but not for 8. So I got to keep going here. So I'm going to keep going a bit with this guy. Till I run out of room. Okay, I'm just running out of room here. Okay, so the 24s work for the 8, the 4, and the 2. Let me say what I'm going to get here. Guess what? 24 is here, 24 is here, 24 is here, 24 is there. 24 is the lowest common denominator, okay? So 8 times 3 gives me 24. 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 times 6. 2 times 12. As you can see, it takes 12. And then 3 times 8. Make that larger. These are all things I've got to keep in my mind. Remember this, and keep it in our mind. So, in order to make all my denominators the same, I have to multiply them. So remember, our lowest common denominator was 24. So 8 times 3. Now, it's kind of like washing your hands. What you do to your left hand, you got to wash your right hand. Well, same thing with a fraction. If you're going to change it, you got to change the numerator and the denominator. So 3 times 3, 3 times 8, that's going to give me 9 over 24. Next one, 1/4. Okay, so I said that was like multiplying it by 6, because 6 times 4 gives me 24. But remember, what you do to one, you got to do to the other. So the numerator gets it and the denominator. Okay, the 1/2. Remember, 12 times 2 gives you 24, but you got to do the same thing with the numerator. And finally, 2/3. Remember, whoa, get back here, you. That was an 8. 8 times 3, that gives you 24, but you also got to do the top. That's 16. Okay, now that I got my denominator, now I'm going to add. Now, when you add, okay, and all we're going to do is adding. So right now, let's see if I can get another color for us, okay? We're going to just do what I'm circling in green here. We're just going to add these numbers. Now, when you add fractions, you keep your denominator the same, which is 24. And all you're going to add are, we're putting the green dots, the numerators. So 9 plus 6, that's 15. 15 plus 12 is 27. Now, next thing I'm going to do is subtract. Find another color for this. That's my final thing. So I'm going to subtract 16 over 24. Again, keep your denominators the same. You're only worried about your numerator. So 27 minus 16, that's like saying 11 over 24. Now, we can't reduce this number, so that is the answer. So, well, let me put myself back in here. Here I am. I know it's a little big. Okay, so sorry about my big head there, but that's where we are, Corey. So again, if you have any questions, 609-502-3039. That is my number. Okay, take care. Bye now.